Hi guys, welcome in and welcome to Vlogvember day 17. And today we have another pattern haul. This haul consists of mostly women's patterns and then a couple of children's patterns right at the end. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in. First up is M7975. This is a tops pattern from 2019. And this tie detail on the side front really caught my attention. I thought this was a very interesting detail. I love where they put it. They put it right on the side hip. I think it looks amazing in version D, and that is probably the version I'm going to start with initially. But I could also see myself making version A, the short sleeve version. All right, let's take a look at the back. Here we have the line drawings, and the suggested fabrics are for moderate stretch knits. All right, that's M7975 from 2019. Next is M7922. This is a dresses pattern from also 2019. And I picked this pattern up for version D. This is just such a pretty look. It's casual, yet it still looks put together. I would definitely rock this with some wedges and some big hoop earrings. This is by far my favorite out of all of these styles. Okay, let's flip it over. Here you can see we have the line drawings. And the suggested fabrics are, looks like lightweight wovens, gingham, poplin, cotton blends, and crepe. But what about a chambray? That would look amazing. All right, that's 7922 from 2019. Moving on to M6356. This is a tops pattern from 2011, and I picked this up for versions A and B. C and D are really cute as well, but I just think versions A and B would get a lot more use in my wardrobe. All right, this pattern is rated as easy, and as you can see, it is for knit fabrics. Okay, let's take a look at the line drawings. Here we go. And again, the suggested fabrics are for two-way stretch knits only. Okay, that's M6356 from 2011. And then we have M7742. This is a dresses pattern from 2021. And I picked it up for versions A and B. Now, essentially, these are all the same dress, just with different sleeves. But I think A and B are the cutest. So those are the two that I'm going to make. All right, let's look at the line drawings. And the suggested fabrics would be cotton blends, chambray, crepe, and crepe de chine. And then for version D, they're suggesting single-edged border fabrics. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, that's M7742 from 2021. Next up is M5893, and these are dresses, and the pattern is from 2009. So this is an oldie but goodie. I'm not usually a fan of an empire waist, but something about version D just drew me in. And I'm actually a little bit excited about trying this out. All right, this pattern is rated as easy, and they are saying that it's a 1-hour dress, but it's 1 hour sewing machine time only. That doesn't account for your cutting or tracing out of your pattern if you do that. All right, let's look at the back. Here we have line drawings, and the suggested fabrics are for stretch knits only. All right, that is M5893 from 2009. And then we have M6885. This is a dresses and hat pattern from 2014. I picked this pattern up for version D. I love the shirt tail hem, and it looks like 3/4 length sleeves with the pockets. That just spoke to me, and I could absolutely see myself wearing it. Okay, this pattern is also rated as easy. However, As you can see, it's got a button placket, it's got buttonholes and a collar. And I don't know if the collar has a collar stand or not, but I wouldn't necessarily say that those are easy sewing techniques. So I'm not sure why they rated it as easy, but there it is. All right, let's look at the back. And here we have line drawings. And the suggested fabrics are, let's see, crepe, chambray, cotton blends, polished cotton, and the lining for version E, which is the hat. The lining, they're suggesting cotton blends. Yeah, I don't know how they got easy for this pattern, but there it is. M6885 from 2014. Now that's going to do it for the women's patterns. Now we're going to move into children's patterns. So first in the children's category is S9616. This is a t-shirt, jacket, pant, and hat pattern from 2022. I love that you get so many options in this one little pattern. That's really nice. And it's an easy to sew pattern. We love that. All right, let's flip it over and take a look at the back. Okay, the suggested fabrics for A and B, which are the tops, would be stretch knits only, such as interlock or jersey. And then for the balance of the items, they're suggesting cotton, gingham, interlock, and jersey. Okay, S9616 from 2022. And finally, we have S9559. This is a dresses, top, pant, purse, and headband pattern from 2022. I picked this pattern up for this version right here. The tank top, pant, and purse. That's just so cute. And look, there's like a little bow detail on the side of these pants. That's adorable. All right, let's take a look at these line drawings. Here we go. Here we have the line drawings. Also, I'm so excited that this pattern includes a headband. I don't believe that I have a headband pattern for a child in my collection. So I'm very excited to have this. Let's see what they're suggesting for the fabrics. Looks like broadcloth, calico, chambray, cotton types, gingham, lightweight piqué, and linen types. All right. That is S9559 from 2022. And that is going to do it for today's haul. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you saw something that intrigued you. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.